It all happened during the Blue Bus tours.
It is all very simple. It is all very real. It is all to be in you and in me, in one all act of joy when I in you realize in you, one in I as me. See this, and in this be happy. See this, and in this be real and good to others.
In the Meher Baba Journal, Volume 2, Number 11, September 1940, the second in a series of 14 mystical life articles by Princess Norina Matchebelli, appeared written in what Meher Baba described as the mystical language. In it, Baba gives a deeper experience of the meaning behind "I have come not to teach, but to awaken." Regarding the mystical language, Baba states,
The unfathomable mystical language has this advantage over the intellectual, philosophical way of speaking, that it is straight from the supreme source, from where it is creative, unrealized, pure expansion of conscious existence. Whatever is the meaning, it is radiation of its pure source of existence. No one needs to understand my mystical language, but everyone must read it with reverence and realize that in the realm of I invisible is I, the one who is doing this expansion in conscious order, who has to bring to the surface the radiant order of this creation show unfathomable.
when Norina met Baba in 1931 and recognized him as the living Christ, she asked him if his was the voice she had heard since childhood. Baba confirmed this by saying that through her intuition, she had connected with the impersonal God, but not to share it with others. First, he wanted her to find him personal. After 7 years serving him, she now began sharing her gift through her Meher Baba Journal articles.
The time is the outset of World War II, and Baba has gathered the Eastern and Western women mandali to travel throughout India as Baba enlists musts and advanced souls for his universal work. He asked Elizabeth and Norina to publish the Meher Baba Journal, which included the first publication of his discourses and the first publication of writings in the mystical language. The first discourse, entitled Avatar, heralded the transition from the age of reason to the age of intuition.
So let's board the blue bus. Give your intellect a vacation. Look to the heart and the inner silence and experience Avatar Meher Baba using English in a new way as the language of the heart through the intuitive voice of Norina. Let's see what deeper insight we can experience in Baba coming not to teach, but to awaken.
Mystical Life 2 by Princess Norina Matchebelli. These variations on the theme of self-realization have been dictated to me by Meher Baba through direct communication in intuition in July 1940.
What is the real meaning of the word selfless? To my question, Meher Baba intuitively suggests, I cannot speak in other terms than in those which I feel to be the real experience. The word is in itself a form that is in its own order of reaction of use to the intellect. To make that clear, I want you to realize that in no way is it possible to make the mind in man be unconscious of its own reaction. Unless this is true and real, it is impossible to create a state of mind which is utter calm. To make the mind in man react real, it is important that it's thinking in two ways. In its own finite order of self-realization, pursues within, in the realm that is in no way of the intellect, that which is right and real.
It cannot be made clear to anyone what is the real selfless state in mind of one who is unself-conscious in I as finite existence. No one can reach this state unless he has surrendered in full in I, the head and the heart, as usual self in experience. That cannot be done without the help of one who is right in knowing, real in his selfless reaction, and pure in his aim to help out from the dual state of individual intellectual ignorance. Remember that I have come not to teach, but to awaken. What is the meaning of this? It means exactly this, what is so individually important, and that is to self-realize in this mind which is finite, the divine state of non-reaction, and that is mental calm. Unessential and unnecessary is the act of self-realizing when I am in the human body. That is to say, no one needs to go any further in his own individual effort to self-conscious realize the divine existence within. No one needs to make further studies about the mind and its reactions. Psychology is of no more use. It is no more of use to take up the subject of creation and its dual finite order of making life a trial, a quest. The demon that is in men is the dual order in thought, creating continuous reaction. That is the demon. That is the double-headed I that is creating so much trouble in everyone, who is trying to into the realm of mind and being, or into the realm of deeper knowing, or say into the realm of the infinite I. No one is able to pursue this divine I as existence unless he is as individual in himself, in full conscious of this individual and of its actions, and in it is seeing, knowing, and feeling that he is in it, object of his own I, as the individual intellectual existence.
What is truth, you ask? No one has ever seen the fact in itself that is in real order of existence, fact in real reaction. To be clear about this, Let us make it as simple as possible by saying, when we pursue the real self, it is not for use of the individual I, but it is for the use of the end, the life, the God state, as state of realization, of knowing, of being. No one has ever given as little importance to the subject of mind as I do here by saying to everyone who is individual in his own intellectual order of thought that he should in every way try to be simple and unself-conscious in the use of his own I as individual intellect. No one can understand why I try to have everyone come down to the level of true, real, simple thinking, matter-of-fact way of trying to find out the real sense, the meaning of word, of life, that I try by giving everyone the exact experience of the real self.
It is a new form of school to teach without any form of mental creative order of thought. That is what is the meaning of saying, I have come not to teach, but to awaken. I do not avoid the intellectual order of thought in mind and man, but I create a new form of receptiveness within, in the realm of I as mind in being. This means, in order to make it clear, that I do not try to give anyone a different conscious creative order to self-experience within and without, but I stimulate being individual reaction, that which I as human being react, and that is the self. This self that is in its mind order, thought as pure creation order, is for you a superficial conscious reaction in the individual intellect. Deep within it is my own I, that is creation order, that is form creating, that is function, that is making use of that which is form to create in it the order of divine existence.
Let it be done by me in giving me close hearing in every moment of your day's reactions. That is to say, leave in me your reaction. Put yourself into me and be me. Do not let yourself come between you and as I, as the individual portion of me, and I, the divine existence. We are close in being. We are one in I as the divine existence. All the rest is the imaginary existence of the individual I that in its own order of mind is making division to put into action and reaction its own I so that it creates order, controversy. Making believe in reaction is the same as saying I am tempting my own I to react to its own divine existence. That what I do is making believe in every motion, in every moment of action and reaction. That is more than I can say to make it clear that in the ordinary sense, The real I is the indivisible existence, and the individual I is the division reaction of its own immutable self as the state of truth.
Do not mix the external world in its indivisible state in action and reaction with the divine I, with state that is immutable. Let that be a separate quest and a separate trial and a separate form of mind in action and reaction. No one can see the truth in its real order of existence unless one is in it, true and real. God as conscious existence.
God is beyond all and in everyone the immune, never ending, immutable, never creating, never destroying, all in one existence that is given to all as it is, its I. This I that I here describe as immutable, infinite, unending, right, pure, unselfish, is merely a form that has to be in use in everyone as the finite order to self-realize that which is I as one, as God in its universal existence.
God is far above this. God is music, light, order and rhythm, motion infinite, reaction without action, motion without reaction, order without reaction, divine, sure, quiet, unself-conscious. It is a show of such indescribable pure beauty that it is impossible for any human being to win with the imagination. Whatever is of ordinary use in our own way to experience is sure and safe when it is done unselfishly. This is the only way to assure any human being of a real existence that is pure, that is good, that makes good, that leads to good, and that leaves no stain. This stain that we call I is mind, is I in use to self-realize. All these reactions, you may call them the self-realizing show in mind, is of no use when I am here in person.
I am here to make it over and over simple and real and true and good for everyone. That is to say, I create a rhythm of union within and without. I make life easy by giving to the mind a state of real balance between the I and the other I, between the head and the heart, or let us say in a more scientific manner, between the divine and the ordinary. Nothing can make one feel more holy and happy than to know that within in I is He, the divine existence. Why? Because when we compare the divine and the ordinary, we see no division. We see no division between the human being and Him, the divine order of God in human form. What does that help? It helps to make us humble, unself-conscious of our importance, and unself-conscious of being like him. And that is to be real humble.
It makes us see how it is to have faith. It is to have the inner knowing of the real existence. It is to become conscious of the divine I. That in us is unrealized, but so easily to be realized in every moment of one's own real, conscious, wakeful in mind as seeing, knowing, and feeling. Whatever we may say of the human being that is God realized is far too little. It is inasmuch a small fact as it appears so simple as human expression. But what is it to be human? To be human is to be the fulfilled order of I as the divine existence that has taken form and is order in us, the ordinary, unself-realized creation. We have not yet a real feeling for what is real. We have not yet an idea of what is true. We can in no way make ourselves clear what it is to be the unselfish, realized human creature.
Meher Baba replies, the word selfless I shall try to explain. I am trying to explain to you in every way that this word means not in the least that what the ordinary human mind is trying to find out in using it in wrong and right ways. No one is selfless until he has submerged in I as divine order of mind that is non-I, in mind, in being. No one as self is nothing as existence. This should make it clear, although they are words which do not create images or pictures or symbols. Nothing is of use while I am here than to see me and to live in me and to love me and to serve me and to do anything and everything possible, human and impossible, to clear the condition which is so absolutely wrong, and that is to think that I have to be different than ordinary human being. I must be as I am. I must be simple, unassuming, ordinary, but I must be selfless. That means, in another way, that I must have reached the state of egolessness, of non-being, of non-I, of non-existence as the universal I.
I repeat here to you as my disciple, do not let your head go wild by thinking that I have to appear to the world as the giant that has to create sensation, that has to make spectacles of unreal phenomenon. Who has to come down, as it is written in the ancient books, and leave the impression of awe, of fear, of horror? No. And again I say, it is not so. No one will see me be more than a human, ordinary being that works in the selfless state of mind in which I am for the good of all. I am serving you here by giving you this discourse that you have to use for the benefit of others. I am serving the one who has to hear this for the use of his own creation, that has to earn new understanding. I am telling you all this and more, and for more than this, within, where you have no access, where you have no feeling for, where you do not know what is the wonder-doing act of mercy that gives peace, joy, bliss. I am giving this in everyone in its own proportion of need, and I am doing it in everyone in its own proportion of divine ambition. And I am doing it in everyone in order to make everyone become light and easy and real, and that is to lose his own I within me.
I say here once over again, do not let the mind take the overhand when you think of me. Do not let the mind speak to you when you see me. Do not let the head give you ideas when you can find me within your own eye, as the being that is there, uninterruptedly there with you, sharing, giving, doing, making good, taking out, lifting and arousing the divine rhythm that has to make clear and sure and unself-conscious its own order that is I. It is true that God is use when you realize the self being in you, the divine I that creates you, that gives you realization, that makes you clear in thought, that shows you the way out of this world of illusion, that makes you become one with the divine I. That is use of God. God is making use of everything to make its use be the use and no more than use. Remember the difference. God is use in everyone till he is realized in use, and that is to have become one with everything, anything, and everything. It
It
is
is all
all
very
very
simple.
simple.
It
It
is
is
all
all
very
very
real.
real.
It
It
is
is
all
all
to
to
be
be
in
in
you
you
and
and
in
in
me,
me,
in
in
one
one
all
all
act
act
of
of
joy
joy
when
when
I
I
in
in
you
you
realize
realize
in
in
you
you
one
one
and
and
I
I
as
as me.
me. See
See
this,
this,
and
and
in
in
this
this
be
be
happy.
happy.
See
See
this,
this,
and
and
in
in
this
this be
be real
real
and
and
good
good
to
to others.
others.
All aboard
All aboard
the Blue
bus
Bus
divine.
Tours of the mystical language.
Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.